Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of the Shred the Spread podcast, Thursday edition. My name is Jared. I am your host. Today, we are solo dolo once again. We plan on having a guest next episode. This episode, we're going to look at the Thursday night football game. We're going to look at some early leans into the Sunday slate, as well as the Sunday night game. But on Friday, maybe Saturday morning, whenever the next episode gets out, we are going to have some more official picks. Looking back at last episode, we recapped some of the past games, but we also gave our first official pick on the podcast. And that pick was the Las Vegas Raiders and Kansas City Chiefs over 51 points. A little no sweat cash. First win, first pick. That's how we love to get started. Let's keep it hot. Let's keep it rolling. Let's dig into some of these Sunday games. We will finish with the Thursday night game so we can have that be the last, the most freshest thing you hear. We'll give a pick, one pick. I've been going back and forth the past 3 days. I've been struggling, but I think we have a pick. And we will get to that at the end of the podcast. So let's dive right into the Sunday games. The first game we're going to cover is the New England Patriots at the Cleveland Browns. I actually have an early lean on this. I did get a bet in. You may be surprised. I was surprised actually looking at what the tickets were on. The public loves the New England Patriots. Let's be real. This Browns team is actually really good. We are getting a Patriots team without Damian Harris, and we're getting a rookie quarterback on the road. The Cleveland Browns need this win. I think it's a really good spot. They covered last week for me versus the Chargers, and the tickets are all over the Patriots. I don't understand. I'm thinking it's a come again spot from last week where the Patriots just absolutely dominated the Lions. But let's be real. Public is on the Patriots. The Sharps are on the Browns. Give me the Cleveland Browns. I got them at -2.5. I believe it opened at 3. I'm not 100% sure, but I got them at 2.5. I think this line may go back up to 3. I would not be surprised. But I like this at 3, 3.5. I would probably take this all the way up to 4. But yeah, Cleveland Browns -2.5. First official lean. Let's move on to the next one. The second game we're going to cover are the New York Jets at the Green Bay Packers. This line is at 7 points. What are we talking about? I mean, this has got to be a statement game for the Green Bay Packers. We're at home. 7-point spread is extremely disrespectful. We've got to get A.J. Dillon going. We've got to get Aaron Jones going. We just gave this man a huge contract. Give him the damn ball. Even if it's screen passes. Let him use his speed, his talent. Get some blocking out there. Get Allen Lazard in this offense. We are throwing to Randall Cobb as our number one target over the last 2 weeks. Come on. Give me the Green Bay Packers -7. Don't even think about it. We could probably get this down to 6.5. That's our second lean. Well, here we are. We've got a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team going to Pittsburgh with a 9-point spread. Kenny Pickett and that offense looked abysmal. But hey, they played the Buffalo Bills. What a great first career game to start against the Buffalo Bills. Tampa did not cover versus the Atlanta Falcons. Are the Pittsburgh Steelers better than the Atlanta Falcons? That's debatable. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have had enough time to probably prepare Kenny Pickett for this game. I definitely think there's going to be a little bit more game plan involved. The Buccaneers really haven't been as dominant as a force on offense as you would think, and their defense really isn't playing up to par as well. I think there's a lot of room for improvement on both sides of the ball for the Buccaneers. I definitely think there's going to be some points in this game. I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers getting 9 points against the Buccaneers I've been struggling to cover is a little bit intriguing. I would say, and it hurts me to say, but I definitely believe I would most likely take the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 9.5. I'm not 100% sure yet. I need to do a little bit more digging. I need to see how this line moves. I'm sure we're going to get a little bit of movement, but I definitely think there's going to be some points in this game. If there's some points in this game, I believe it's going to be competitive. I would not be surprised if the Pittsburgh Steelers cover this game, but I don't have an official lean yet. We'll have to get to the next episode for that. I need to dig in a little bit more, but I don't think Mike Tomlin goes out there and gets his ass busted 2 games in a row. I just can't see it happening. So Pittsburgh +9, potentially a lean. We'll have to get an official pick next podcast, but let's move on to the next game. The damn dogs are barking. I think I got a surprising one for you guys. San Francisco at Atlanta, 5.5 point spread. Do you know the bet percentage on this 49ers team? It is ridiculous. The public loves the 49ers in this game. They're getting him at less than a touchdown. But what are we talking about? I go through every single game. I give myself a score prediction. I look into the game. I kind of come up with a spread in my mind. And then I look at the spread. This one surprised me. I had this Atlanta Falcons team losing by 4 to 5 points to this Niners team. The Niners are banged up on offense. They're banged up on defense, and they just lost Nick Bosa? Give me the Falcons +5.5. Mariota isn't some new quarterback. It's crazy to say he's a veteran. The Niners are on a back-to-back East Coast road game trip, and Atlanta has been spread covering machines. They just covered through the back door against Tampa? I'll tell you what. I think 5.5 could be too low to some of you, could be too high to others, but I love this spot for the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta +5.5. That is an official lean. It may, for some foreshadowing, be an official play. Stay tuned in the next podcast for the official picks, but I love this spot for Atlanta right now. Maybe we can get it at +6. That would be ideal, but I think 5.5 will do just fine. The Minnesota Vikings head down to Miami to face the Dolphins with a 3.5 point favorite for the Vikings. Total set at 45.5 points, so a decent total for this game. The Dolphins are unsure if Teddy is going to play. There is kind of optimism. However, I think the latest thing I saw was Skylar Thompson. Jesus. He could possibly be starting. If Teddy plays, I think I like the Dolphins at +3.5. I'm not sure if that line moves. I'm not sure if Teddy Bridgewater is going to be that big of a line mover. But, 3.5 points with Teddy covers, I'll have to take that. The Jets game was actually really competitive. It just got out of hand late in the game with a bunch of turnovers and terrible passes and play calling. It just got a mess, and Skylar Thompson wasn't prepared to lead that team to victory. There was no way how. He probably wasn't expecting to play at all, but those Dolphins quarterbacks just can't stay healthy. So he ran out there, gave a semi-competitive game, and then the Jets just took away. The reason why I can't really just get on the Minnesota -3.5 is just because Kirk has just been so inconsistent, and you really don't know what you're going to get from Dalvin Cook. Justin Jefferson had a couple quiet games. Not sure if Xavier Howard is going to play or not. That would be huge because obviously Justin Jefferson is a target in any single game he plays, so slowing him down with anything would be ideal. But I think as of right now, we're just going to be waiting on that Teddy Bridgewater news. If he plays, I like the Dolphins +3.5. If good old Skylar Thompson runs out there, then I think it's just a stay away from me. This next game is such a fishy spot. The Baltimore Ravens are going to the New York Giants. 5.5 home dogs for the Giants. That, for a 4-1 team, that is awfully high. And I know the Giants are not really a 4-1 team. They don't play like it. They are pulling out these tricks out of their hat. Dan Jones is just a god, I guess. But even if you look at his facial expressions, when he looks at the Jumbotron when that game is over and he sees he won, it's like he can't believe it. I mean, the dude is like a little kid finding out a cool trick. He's just in some damn amazement. I really think the Giants are just into quarterbacks with negative emotion. Him and Eli have got to be from the same damn tree. But when you look at this spread, you're like, wow, 5.5 home dog, intriguing. Baltimore Ravens playing amazing for 3 quarters and then always finding a way to make it look competitive in the fourth, also just as amazing. So you kind of have to, if you bet this game, I should phrase that, you have to take a side. The Giants are winning kind of on their own behalf, and the Ravens are winning and then making it close also on their own behalf. So kind of who do you trust more to do their job? Does Baltimore finally get their secondary to figure out how to stop a pass in the fourth quarter? Or do the Giants stop pulling these magical tricks out of their hat and winning games? This will most likely be a stay away from me. As of right now, I don't necessarily have a lean. That could possibly change by the next podcast episode when we give our picks out. But that's kind of my analysis on the game. You kind of have to pick a side on who do you trust more. And right now, I really don't have an opinion on that. So let's move on. This is such a heart versus the mind spot. The Jacksonville Jaguars are heading to Indianapolis to play the Colts. And I truly have never been on both sides at the same time in my life. I look at the spread, and it's 2 points. The Jacksonville Jaguars dominated the Colts last time they played. I always have this hope that Jonathan Taylor is about to torch a defense for 250 yards, score 3 touchdowns, and you don't have to worry about Matt Ryan throwing the damn ball. I mean, the difference in this Colts team between Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz is Matt Ryan can play ugly but still give you a chance to win. They don't put up nearly as many points, but he still gives you a chance to win. The perfect example was versus the Broncos. That was the ugliest game in a while. 0 touchdowns, a shit ton of field goals, but Matt Ryan never really put his team in a position to lose. He kind of moved the ball downfield, went and got the ball down to kick a field goal. Like, he just does the little things, but nothing amazing. With Carson Wentz there, they were putting up a shit ton of points, but they were also giving up a shit ton of points because they would go down and score a touchdown, and then he would give up perfect field position for his opposition. And I think that's the difference between these teams. Like, the 2-point spread is just off to me. And I understand it's probably favoring the Colts because they're at home. But it's like, how do you not take the Jaguars? They put it to the Colts last time. I really cannot physically make up my mind yet. This may be a pick later on, but as of right now, if I'm anywhere like this on Friday or Saturday, whenever we release the next episode, I still won't have a pick. I am looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars saying, take it. But I cannot let go of this hope that Jonathan Taylor is just going to go off. He is so due for a huge game. And the Jaguars just got embarrassed in Houston last week. I can't tell if it's a comeback spot or Goldilocks and Trevor Lawrence are just coming back to the earth. I'm just going to have to take a pass right now. Yeah, we're just going to move on because I seriously cannot get a side in this one without hurting my mind or soul on the other side. That is right. The dogs are barking again, and man, do I have another strong lean this week. The Cincinnati Bengals are traveling down to New Orleans to face the Saints, and the Cincinnati Bengals are 2-point road favorites. Saints are 2-point home dogs. Man, I love this spot for the Saints. The Saints' defense has been playing extremely well. They're finding their identity. They've got Taysom Hill, who was the highlight of that team and was the highlight of our podcast, if you remember last week's episode. They have been utilizing him in a variety of ways, creating explosive plays, opening the offense. Kamara is only getting healthier, and it's looking like this line is going to move to 2.5, possibly 3 points to the Saints. I mean, how do we not bet that? The Bengals have been in nothing but raw and ugly, close games, win or lose. Zach Taylor's coaching has been questionable. I love the spot for the Saints. If it's another gritty, close game, you want the points. The Saints can win outright easily. Give me the Saints. I would wait on it, see if we can get it at 2.5 or 3. If you can get it at 3, hammer the hell out of this spot. This is just definitely one of my favorite leans so far. Where the hell do you even start to handicap this game? Arizona is heading to Seattle, where they are 3-point road favorites against Geno Ballin' Out Smith. I mean, Arizona, it just seems to be missing something. You could see it versus the Eagles. They would drive downfield, and it looks like they're missing not necessarily a playmaker, but decision-making. And I don't know if that's coming from Cliff, the head coach, or it's coming from Kyler. I can't really blame it on the personnel. Marquise Brown seems to be making plays. Rondale Moore, poor guy, doesn't get an opportunity to catch a ball that's more than 3 yards deep, and they like to run these screens and crosser routes, and the dude can fly. Let him get out in space and make a play. Zach Ertz seems to be Mr. Reliable. What's new? But it's hard to take away 3 points from this Arizona team at the end of the game. How do we not take the Seahawks as a home dog, 3 points? This might be a stay away game. Seahawks might be a good teaser piece, but I think Arizona is kind of due for a good game, and I could see them winning by a touchdown. I could also see them losing outright. It's just a tough game to handicap. As of right now, I really don't have a strong lean that could also change Saturday, like with a few of these other games. Like I said, I think Arizona is just missing a couple big plays from getting back to a decent team. I mean, they're a couple games away from leading that division, and I would not be surprised they end up winning it. I mean, that division is just so sloppy right now, and I think Arizona needs to really get on their shit if they want to have a chance at winning it. But Seahawks have just been playing so good, it's hard to bet against them, so I think right now I'm kind of in the middle. We'll see how I feel on Friday night, Saturday morning, but as of right now, I think it's going to be a little bit of a stay-away game. Another tough one. The Carolina Panthers are heading to Los Angeles. I mean, 10 points. 10 points for the Rams after how they've been performing is ridiculous. But also, it goes for the same for the Carolina Panthers. 10 points for the Panthers is ridiculous. How do you even take a side here? I mean, luckily, I mean this could benefit the Panthers more than it benefits the Rams, but Carolina just cleaned house. They have a fresh start. I think we finally get some DJ Moore involved. I don't know, that could be the fantasy long season owner of DJ Moore speaking from me, but seriously, I think we have to at least expect one Stafford turnover, potentially a pick six. I mean, I feel like he throws one every damn week now. We got Christian McCaffrey rumored to be traded. Are we going to showcase his talent? Is he going to go out there and get 12 targets and 10 catches and get 100 yards receiving, 100 yards rushing, still find a way to lose the game by 2 touchdowns? I mean, we have no idea. The Rams' running game has consisted of basically Cooper Kupp screen passes, 15 freaking targets a game, it feels like. I mean, like, what are we even doing? Like, we have Cooper Kupp versus the entire Carolina Panthers defense, which some games can stop everything, some games can't stop a damn thing. And then we have the Rams defense where the same thing applies. You can run all over them, or the next game you can't get 2 yards of carry. I mean, we know what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of Cooper Kupp and a whole lot of nothing else. The Carolina Panthers, we have a new starting quarterback. We have a new head coach. I mean, we just really don't know what to expect. It's hard to take the Rams minus 10. It's hard to take the Panthers plus 10. Either way you look at it. If anything, I say you could throw the Rams in there as a teaser, but still, what if the Rams lose outright? I mean, are we even going to be surprised anymore? I say, save your damn money, stay away from this game. There's quite a few other great spots to get to. There's no reason to sweat this shit out. We have 2 of the league's premier quarterbacks matching up this week. Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. The Bills are 3-point road favorites. Man, this is going to be a good game. The total is set at 54, and even being so high, that could be so low. Alternate spread, 60 points. I don't know what the odds are on that, but I will definitely sprinkle that. We don't know what to expect. I just know there's going to be points. I just know there's going to be big plays. I just know there's going to be a lot of competitive nature in this game. Josh Allen coming back for his revenge. Patrick Mahomes trying to lead the Chiefs to another back-to-back win. Let's be real. Last year, the Buffalo Bills beat the Chiefs. They just couldn't stop the Chiefs' offense for seconds. Chiefs go down, kick the field goal, and it's a coin flip because you know whoever gets the ball is leading their damn team downfield and winning the game. Ultimately, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs won the coin toss, and they did exactly that. Josh Allen is coming back for revenge. Let's not get it twisted. 3-point road favorites is because that very reason. The Bills have been playing out of their damn mind. Last week, Josh Allen, 300 passing yards by halftime on the Pittsburgh Steelers, which are a defensive-minded team. Come on now. Give me the over. Give me the Bills. I'll take my chances. I know Chiefs +3 is so good. I just cannot take it, and I'm so guilty of it. A home dog in the Chiefs, when are you going to get the Chiefs plus points? That's exactly what they want you to think. Take the Bills, -3, take the over, sign it up, watch this game, enjoy this game. It's going to be a hell of a game. You don't even have to bet on this game and be so locked in because they're just going to give you a damn show. And I cannot wait. This is one of my most anticipated games of the season. I'm going to be all over it. I love the over. I love the Bills. Let's get it. You know, there's an old saying that says, don't bet on the teams you like. It's a double ass buster if you lose the bet and your team loses. Well, damn it, am I guilty of that once again this week. Last week, I took the Eagles first half -3. The Eagles are hosting the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football in Philadelphia. And you're telling me I got to get the Eagles at 4.5 points? What are we talking about? They're up to 6 points now. That's harder to take. But this line could move down to 5.5, maybe up to 6.5. I am not sure. It could sit pretty at 6. I'm still all over this Eagles -6. The Cowboys are just so due for a letdown. I mean, how great is Cooper Rush going to continue to play? Dak has been ruled out for this game. They're giving the ball to Cooper Rush? Come on now. Eagles, primetime in Philadelphia. If you don't like the full game -6, because let's be real, the Eagles find a way to make it look competitive in the second half because they take their foot off the gas and they're so guilty of it. The Eagles, you can get first half -3. You're telling me the Eagles just have to beat Cooper Rush by a field goal in the first half? I'll hammer the hell out of that too. Give me the Eagles. I got them at 4.5. I doubled down on -5, and I tripled down on -5.5. I just don't know if I can pull the trigger and put that much more money down for 4 units on -6. This is my biggest bet of the season. I just don't see how they let me down. This is such a homer pick, and I'm so guilty of it, but I just don't see how the Eagles could be in such a better spot. Prime time, Sunday night, I'll be watching this game. I can't wait. I have a couple friends going to this game. Eagles -4.5, -5, and -5.5. I've got all three of those. It's at -6, and I still love that too. I love the first half -3. Hammer it all. Let's go Eagles. You know, when I'm recording these individual segments going game by game, I find myself getting so excited for some games. And then I look to my next spot, and I'm like, damn, I don't even want to talk about this game. And here we are. We got to. I will talk about every single game, every single Thursday, and then we'll go through our picks on Saturdays, Friday nights, whenever it may be. But we've got the Denver Broncos traveling to the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are 4.5-point favorites. Oh my God. We have an abysmal coaching matchup. I'm just surprised the Chargers are this much of a favorite in a divisional game. I mean, we've got two head coaches that seem to be on the wrong side of every play call. I just don't know how you could put your money on the Broncos, and on the flip side, after last week's performance in Cleveland, put your money on the Chargers. The Chargers had so many opportunities to run away with that game, but these decisions we're just leading them to opportunities for Jacoby Brissett to lead the Browns down and win the game. And what did he do? He threw the damn ball back to the Chargers. I just don't see how you can confidently say that the Chargers win this game by 5 points. And I also don't see a way that the Broncos can lose by 5 or less. These two teams are so sketchy to bet on. Save your damn money. Put this game in the corner of your TV and just let it go, because in reality, nobody wants to watch this shit. Nevertheless, bet on it. Stay away from it. You got other games to bet on. I'm not really feeling either spot, so this will probably be a look away from me, but we'll see what I decide comes Friday or Saturday. If you have made it this far in the podcast, thank you so much for listening and sticking around. We have officially made it to our Thursday night game. The Washington Commanders travel to Chicago to take on the Bears in prime time Thursday night football, and my God, is this going to be an ugly one. The total is 38 points, and people are hammering the under, and I don't know how. These defenses could give up big play after big play, and there would be nothing to it. We are staying away from that. I've went back and forth all week, and I have made my decision. It is not the Commanders. The Commanders have screwed me once. They have screwed me twice. They will not screw me a third time, because once a fool on you is now a fool on me, and will not be continuing that trend. We are going to take the Chicago Bears in primetime Thursday night football. The Commanders are going to go to Chicago and get embarrassed. We've got Jalen Johnson back for Chicago. We've got N'Keal Harry back for Chicago. We've got some depth added to this roster. Justin Fields, in my opinion, has just played his best career game last week versus the Vikings. This is no doubt. Ron Rivera, in a recent press conference, was asked, what's the difference between the Washington Commanders and the rest of the NFC East division? And he had one word to say, and he said quarterback. Well, Ron Rivera, I've got news for you, buddy. You've got Daniel Jones and Cooper Rush in your division, so don't point the damn finger at anybody else. Those quarterbacks are doing just fine. I think it's you who's the problem, and I think it's you who's going to coach the Commanders to a loss in primetime Thursday night football. We're getting the home team, which it usually covers in Thursday night football, as a pick'em? As much as this hurts to take a side, you know we have to take one. There's one game, we have to take a bet. That's what we do on this podcast. And we are taking the Chicago Bears as a pick'em on Thursday night. There's nothing else to say. Lock it. We're 1-0 on the podcast. Let's go for 2-0. Bears, pick'em, Thursday night football. Let's get it. And with that, we have officially made it to the end of episode 2 of Shred the Spread podcast Thursday edition. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening through. If you enjoyed it, be a friend, tell a friend. If you didn't enjoy it, we can just act like this never happened. We will be back either Friday night or Saturday morning with our picks episode. You don't want to miss that. We're giving out winners on this podcast, and we will continue to do so. Let's get it going with Thursday Night Football, and we'll ride it right into Sunday. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, see ya.